Welcome to Master GST. So we are the government appointed GSP. We have the license and the name of Terra Software Limited, and we have a lot of prior experience in the indirect softwares and web applications, mobile application development, and user experience services. So this is how the data will flow from your client server to government portals. Okay, taxpayer layer is something like your customer service or whatever it is. Once you purchase the APIs, you will become the ASP. Okay, the ASP means application service provider. So from your servers to it will hit the government servers through master GSP solution. So our servers are just pass through servers coming to master GST. And top 5 reasons to choose master GST APIs. The first one is experience. We are the first South Indian company to get the GSP license, and we got the license in 2017 itself. So that is how we have the vast experience coming to the APIs and all those things. And next is simplification of APIs. So in the span of all this experience, we simplified the API process. We are the one company who simply depend on the government JSON. Whatever the JSON you are using in our APIs, those are the complete government JSONs. Some of the GSPs will change the JSON as they want. They will have their own documentation and everything. So when government changes this schema, okay, you have to work on coding level. Coming to master GST, you don't need to work on the coding level. You will work only on the JSON level. So it is where you can make the changes in JSON within 5 to 10 minutes. So it's like a plug and play APIs. So one Excel sheet is enough to integrate our e-invoice servers. Next is time saving. Encryption and decryption are taken care by our servers. You don't need to bother about it. So you can save a lot of time, and you don't need to whitelist your IP address also. Next is transparency in pricing. So one login is enough for your all customers. So I will give you each and every API call, whether it is successful call or failure call, or who is the customer at what time he made the call. Everything I will give in the dashboard itself. Next is data security. Our servers are just pass-through servers. Nowhere your data or logs will get saved, so your data is very safe and secure. That is why companies like IBM, Kawasaki, Professional, lot of big companies are with us. Okay, so the next thing is coming to support. We are the only one Indian company who is providing 24 by 7 support on the mobile numbers. You can mail us at support@mastergst.com. You can call us at on the mobile numbers where we are providing 24 by 7 support. Okay, so coming to master GST. So this is if you log in, we can find the URL, which is mastergst.com. If you open this, here you can see the page where you can click on sign up to create one login. Okay, sign up is something like you when if you are looking for APIs, you can click on ASP developer and enter your basic information like your name, email ID, password, mobile number, and address. Click on submit to create one login. Okay, once you create a login, just you can see the dashboard, which is the API dashboard, which is a financial dashboard. Here if you select the year, here you can see the total API calls you made for that month. In December, I made 101 calls. If I click on date wise, I will get the date wise API calls here. If I click on all, you can see the total API calls. You will get the data as per the username, IP address, type, service name, status. I am not going to charge for the. If you click on Excel sheet, it will show you the you can download in the Excel format where you can see each and every API call cost with the timestamp. So these are the different type of dashboards where we have a different dashboards for different API calls like GST API, e-way bill API, and e-invoice API. So coming to the API, we have three different verticals like GST API, e-waybill API, and e-invoice API. Right now, I'll take you through the e-invoice APIs. So these are the 10 different type of calls which is given by the government. Okay, 9 calls are given by the government. Last call, which is B2C QR code call, is given by Master GST. Why? Because government is not dealing with the B2C QR codes. They deal with only B2B invoices. So here, if you click here, it will go to the documentation. As we simply depend on the government schema. You don't need any documentation from my side. You can simply depend on this website. So here you can see the 9 API calls. You can see the same API calls in Master GST also. So coming to authentication, it's a get call. That means you will get the data from the government portal. This is the base URL. So when you open this, you need to click on try it out and email ID. So email ID is nothing but the register email ID with Master GST. So that is what you have to enter. So here we can provide you the AP. Here client ID is client, secret ID is everything is provided by us. So here email ID is nothing but the register email ID with Master GST. Username is nothing but the in sandbox we will provide this username and password for the testing purpose. In production you can create this in this government portal. Your client will create that username and password in this portal and he will give it to you. IP address is nothing but the your system IP address. If you don't know, you can click on find my IP address and here you can see whatever the IP address you can enter here. I am not going to block you or unblock you by the IP address. Government is asking this only for the audit purpose. So here I am entering the client ID and client secret ID. This client ID, this secret ID, I will provide you here. Client ID and secret ID. And the GST number, this is the GST number. So how many clients you may have, for all of them email ID will be same, IP address can be same, client ID can be same, client secret ID will be same. The only three things will change as per the GST number is GST number, username, password. Here you have to send email ID in the query parameter, remaining all in the header parameters. When you click on execute, here this is the curl and this is the exact URL you can shoot from your application also. So what is the plus point of this Swagger means? If you are trying from your application, you are getting some error. So you just want to find out whether the problem is from the coding side or the credential side. You can come up with the same credentials. You can enter all your credentials here and you can click on execute. Once it got triggered and the call is successful means there is a problem with the coding side itself. If you are getting a error from here itself, then the problem is from my server or government server. There may be a problem with the credentials also. So this is how you can use our Swaggers and you can check your calls also. So once you make a authentication call, one authentication token will get generated which is valid for 6 hours in production, 1 hour in sandbox. Okay, the next call, which is get GST and details. This call is not a mandatory call, it's a optional call. That means if you want to give some extra features to your clients by saying that you just enter your GST number, I will validate the GST number whether it is correct or not, and I will give the company name, legal name and trade name and everything. So here you have to pass the auth token and you have to enter the GST number here which you want to validate. Okay, so the GS number which you are entering on the downside is the GS number which you made authentication call. The above GST number is something like which GS number you want to validate. So that is how I am entering the email ID, IP address, the same client ID, client secret ID and the username. So here you can see the client ID, the secret ID, which I am giving here, it will be two types: sandbox and production. If you are trying in testing environment, you have to enter this client ID, this secret ID. If you want to do it in live, you will enter this client ID, this secret ID. So the best thing is, if this client ID, client secret ID, will decide whether to hit the government portals or production portals. So here you are sending email parameter 1 GS number in the query parameter, email ID in the query parameter, remaining all in the header parameters. So when you click on execute, this is the URL which you will shoot, and you will get the response like this: what is the GST number, what is the trade name, legal name, address, and you will come to know the status, whether it is active or cancelled or whatever, date of registration, everything you will get it. So to understand this, again you can go to this website and you can click on this payload also. Whatever the response here in master GST you are getting, you will get the same response here also. So for everything you can depend on this website. So the next thing is get sync GSTM from CP is the call, which is a get call. Okay, here what you will do means, whatever the GST number you are entering here, okay, it will go to the government portal and it will pull the latest data. Let's take a scenario. You have you are trying to generate e-invoice for one GST number, and you are getting an error by saying that the GST number is cancelled. Okay, so you inform the customer make the payments or whatever he did, and he activated the GST number. Now when you try from here, okay, try to generate the e-invoice, you will get the error something like still the GST number is not active. At the time, if you trigger this call, you are manually pulling the status from GSTN server to e-invoice server. Okay, so it's not an optional call. So for these two calls, you don't need any extra features. If you want to give some extra features to your clients, you can use this. Okay, otherwise after authentication you can straight away step into a generate IRN call, which is a post call. Okay, in this we are posting the data to the government portal. So here also you will enter the same details, like email ID is nothing but the register email ID with master GST. Nowhere you will enter your client email IDs coming to email IDs. So client ID, client secret ID, I am entering the sandbox client ID, sandbox secret ID. So whatever the authentication token I generated, I have to pass that in each and every API call. So that means the authentication token which you are generating, you have to store that in your database and you have to use it. Every 6 hours you will get a new authentication token. Here also I am sending email ID in the query parameter, remaining all in the header parameters. So this is the JSON where we are depending on the government JSON. So in this portal you can see generate IRN sample JSON. Whatever the JSON you are seeing in the government portal, the same JSON which is available in master GST. Master GST. So the thing is, here we will provide you one simple Excel sheet to understand the JSON. Okay, so that means what is the version we are going, and what is TAX SCH. Okay, what is SUP type. Okay, why we need to pass B2B and everything. So for such type of things, I am providing you simple Excel sheet. TAX SCH means its a pattern is GST. You have to send as GST only, and mandatory parameter as yes. SUP type of supply. What type of supply? B2B, SEZ, WB. If you are doing business in SEZ, SEZ with payment, SEZ without payment, export with payment, export with payment, deemed export. That means you will give this option to your customers in the drop down. This is also a mandatory parameter. REG, REV. That means reverse charge. It is, you can pass as YRN. It is not mandatory. So when it is not mandatory, you can completely remove this JSON and you can simplify your JSON as much as you want. Like that IGST and intra. This is also not mandatory. Next is document details. This is mandatory. That means what is the document? INV means normal invoice. CRN means credit note. DBN means debit note. This is also mandatory. Document number, that means invoice number. The maximum length is 16. That means you are going to restrict this invoice number to 16 digits. It should not be more than 16 digits. Like this, invoice date. Next is seller details. Okay, that means your customer details. This is what in this up to pin code is mandatory, state code is not mandatory, and trade name, all those are not mandatory. That means if it is not mandatory, you can remove this from the JSON. Next is buyer details. Here you can see the buyer details. That means your customer details. So next is dispatch details. This is not mandatory. Okay. If you want to enter these dispatch details, where dispatch details will come into effect means when you are dispatching your goods not from this address. Okay, other than this address, if you are sending, you have to pass dispatch details. Then when you pass dispatch details, up to this pin code is mandatory. Okay, shipment details, this is also not mandatory, but when shipping is not happening to buyer details for this address, then shipment details you have to pass. Next is item list. This is mandatory. What is the serial number and everything up to this total value, it is mandatory. You have to pass the details. Next, batch details, attribute details, val details. So all these are not mandatory. Which is not mandatory, you can remove this from the JSON and you can simplify your JSON as much as you want. And if you want to generate e-way bill with the IRN, that is also possible. In one call, if you pass some vehicle number, vehicle details, you can pass the distance as 0. Okay, if the pin code is different. Okay, if the pin code, both buyer and seller pin code is same, then you have to pass the distance which is below 100 kilometers. And if the pin to why, because if you pass the distance as 0, government will automatically pick the distance from their database, which is pin to pin distance, and they will generate the e-way bill also. That means if you can generate the IRN number and e-way bill number with one call if you make this. Okay, let's take a scenario. If you click on execute and I am getting IRN can't be generated due to prior 1st October. So I have to change the date, which is some random date. I will suggest you to keep your names or something like that, which will be easy for you. And I have to change the date, which is today's date, which is 10 sorry 10/01/2021. So when I click on execute, it will give you the acknowledgement number, acknowledgement date, IRN number, which is a 64 digits IRN number, and this is the signed invoice, and this is the signed QR code, which is in a string manner. If you pass this data in QR code generators, it will generate one QR image. You will store this in your database and you can make a e-invoice print. So government is expecting that you can provide the 4 things like acknowledgement number, acknowledgement date, this IRN number, and the QR code. This is how you will store in the database and you will give it in the print. So in the next call, let's take a scenario due to some network issues or internet problems, you didn't get this response from the government portal, but IRN got generated in the government portal. So what you have to do is your client will think that IRN didn't get generated. Why? Because he is not able to see the IRN and the QR code. So he will click once again. Then you will get the message as duplicate IRN. Duplicate IRN means already invoice got generated on the same document number. Okay, so you can do 2 things. Either the invoice got generated 1 month back or 2 months back, or 1 minute back also. If you got a duplicate IRN, that means you have to check this invoice number. If the same invoice number used and generated the IRN 1 month back or 2 months back, if it didn't get generated 1 2 months back or something like that, then IRN already got generated 1 minute back. You can fetch back the same details by using two calls. One call is get e-invoice details for a given IRN, where you have to pass the IRN number. To fetch this IRN number, you have to go to this government portal, login here, and you have to copy the 64 digits IRN number, which is a cumbersome process. For instead of this, you can use the call, which is get IRN details by document details. Here, what you will do is, here you have to pass three details. What is the document type, what is the document number, what is the document type. Document type is nothing but INV. If it is a CRN, you will pass as CRN. If it is a DBN, you will pass as a DBN. So here I am passing the details INV. Document number is invoice number. Document date, which is today's date, I entered 01/2022. Email ID is nothing but the register email ID with master GST. So here I am copying all the details here, and I am trying to fetch the details from the government portal. So as of now, the thing is, you can fetch back the details from the government portal for within 48 hours only. After that, government is deleting the data from the e-invoice servers, and they are sending the data to the government portal, which is a GST portal. So whatever the data you want to fetch, you can fetch that within 48 hours only. So here I enter the 2021 date, and here I enter the 2022. So I am entering the correct data, and I'll get the same acknowledgement number, same acknowledgement date, IRN number, and QR code. Okay, this call is used to get back the data from the government portal. You can get the data within 48 hours only. You can't get the before 2 days data. Next is cancel IRN, which is a post call. That means if there are any typo errors, you can cancel the IRN within 24 hours. Here I am entering the IRN number and the cancellation reason and wrong entry. For everything, you can depend on this website, where you will get a lot of information regarding the codes and everything. If you click on master list, you can get the state codes, HSN codes, country codes, everything here. And here you will get the error list also. So everything you can find out in this website. So here I am entering the error number, cancellation reason, and everything. Here you have to pass the same details like username, email ID, IP address, client ID, and secret ID. So every time you just check how you are sending, whether you are sending in the query parameters or header parameters, everything you have to check it out. In each and every call, you have to send the authentication token. Okay, so you have to store this in your database. Here I am sending the authentication token, and when I click on execute, I will get the cancellation date and time. So this is how you can cancel. You can cancel within 24 hours. And one more problem is, after cancellation of IRN also, you can't use the same invoice number throughout the year. Next is generate e-waybill, which is a post call. Let's take a scenario, you generated the invoice almost 1 month back or 1 day back. Now you want to generate e-waybill. You can do that. You don't need to pass all the details, just pass the IRN number. Government will pull all the details from the IRN number, pass some extra parameters like distance, transport ID, and everything. You just enter your basic information, you can generate the e-waybill also. The next is e-waybill, get e-waybill details by IRN. It is a get call. Whatever the IRN number you are passing here, government will give you the e-way number which is linked to that IRN number. This is how you can get it. Next is B2C QR code. Government is not dealing with this. Master GST will provide you this QR code. Pass the all the details like client ID, client secretary, SGST, seller GS numbers, document date, bank account, and if you click on execute, we will provide you one QR code string like B2B invoices. You can pass that in the QR code generator and you can generate the B2C QR code also. So this is about the e-invoicing. So for everything you can simply depend on this website to get all the details. Thank you.